What's up, everybody? Eric here with another EWE Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about Creed 3. This will be a spoiler-free review, but before we get on to that, guys, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you guys thought about this episode of the show and the movie. Alright, guys. So like I said, this is going to be spoiler-free. This is a review for Creed 3, which obviously is a sequel to Creed 2, part of the Rocky franchise. Alright, so let's get started with some of the release information. So this movie came out on March 3rd, 2023. It's the directorial debut for Michael B. Jordan, who also stars in the movie. So the cast is Michael B. Jordan, Jonathan Majors, Tessa Thompson, and Wood Harris. There's other people, but those are like the main people in my opinion. Luckily, all of those people are also MCU alums, so they went with a lot of MCU people. Alright, so the runtime of this movie is 116 minutes, so close to that 2-hour mark. So, let's start with the plot. So, Adonis Creed has retired from boxing and is now training the next generation of boxers as he's adjusting to his new life. I think he's been retired for like 3 years. He gets a blast from his past. One of his old friends, Damian Anderson, shows up and things eventually take the turn for the worse, where Adonis needs to get back in the ring to fight Damian in a match. So that's the main idea. They're eventually gonna have their own friend showdown, something that they'd even talked about as kids, or something maybe one day doing. And that's the basic plot of the movie. If you see the trailer, it shows you a lot. That's why, like, I'm trying to do the spoiler-free, guys, but if you watch the trailer, it shows a lot. Alright, so let's move on now to my spoiler-free thoughts on the movie. I thought this was a really good movie. A lot of people that I've been seeing online, their biggest complaint is, oh, Rocky's not in this movie, and it's not so inspirational as some of the other Rocky movies. And to those people, I would say, if you want to go watch those Rocky movies, go watch those Rocky movies. The thing is that those are so normal, sports-centric, just, inspiration. They never really feel like they're real. And this movie, I actually felt more real than some of the other ones, of like stuff from his past, and I really enjoyed it. I was just like, oh no, this is a darker tone on these movies. Even some of the relationships between the people, I was like, yeah, this gets a little bit dark, a little bit real, and I actually like that about it. And yeah, people say like, oh, well, Sylvester Stallone's not in it, he should be in it for the franchise. I'm like, he was like the old mentor in the last two. Now Adonis is the one having his moment. I actually prefer seeing Adonis get his moment more than anything. And I actually preferred it in the end. And then the performances by Jonathan Majors, Michael B. Jordan, and Tessa Thompson, I enjoyed them. I thought like, oh, they really made me feel something. I loved this movie. Is it enough for me to give it a 9 or a 10? We'll see right now when we get to my score. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. That final fight in the movie I thought was done really well. I was not expecting. You can see in the trailer what happens there, but the way it's shot and some of the things that they do in it was something I haven't seen in a fighting movie, and I actually like their use of like sometimes using quiet, no noise and things like that. And I thought like it really felt like it resonated here pretty well. And all right, so there was a lot of positive. Let's get on to some of the negatives. The biggest negative I have for this movie is that it's very predictable, and I mean, I basically had mapped out the entire movie from the trailer, and I was right. That still didn't take away for how much I enjoyed it, but it's very predictable. And even though like at times like in this movie they're trying to say like, oh no, Jonathan Majors, like Dame's not a bad character, it's like it's pretty obvious he's the villain of the story. Sorry guys, he's the villain. But we did have some surprise characters in there that I was not expecting. Not gonna spoil it here, but I really did like seeing some of these surprises. And I enjoyed the movie. Like I really have very little complaints. I actually kind of want to see it again. Not sure if it's because I really like Michael B. Jordan or just because Jonathan Majors in it. And fun fact, the week before Creed 3 came out, Ant-Man 3 came out, and 2 weeks in a row he had #1 movie, and it wasn't the same movie. So that's pretty cool for Jonathan Majors, doing a great job. This movie was originally supposed to come out back in, I think, 2022, but it got pushed back from what I remember hearing. I know Stallone was one of the producers on it, but apparently he left the project because it was too dark. Watching it, I didn't think it was too dark, but I also think a lot of it has to be like, all right, when you're coming from like a minority background like me, like you see things like what happened here pretty often. So there was no surprise to me of like, oh, seeing someone go to jail and then come out and they're very different. I'm like, yeah, that happens. Let's see. Oh, I just said again, and I'm like, I really want to stop saying that, guys, but it's hard. I'm trying to mentally like challenge myself not to do that. But it's a good addition to the Rocky franchise. They've said that from here they kind of want to do spin-offs, and maybe a sequel to this. I think that might be a good idea. If each one could be something different, where it's not like they're all just carbon copies of Rocky, I would actually enjoy that. So let's actually move on to my score for this movie. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 for great. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. Why am I not giving it a 9? I think it was the predictability, I think, stopped me from giving it a 9. I didn't think it was too long. I think it hit a nice sweet spot. The training montage in this one, though, was really weird, where I'm just like, if you ever seen I Am Legend, and there's just a scene with Will Smith not being shirtless, it kind of felt like they were trying to do that here. And they had like weird things of like, oh, he's pulling a plane, and it's just like, yeah, it's cool, it's on neutral, but you could have used other things instead of a plane. It just seemed like a weird choice. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Would I recommend this movie? Yes. And here's a weird one. I think you can watch this movie without watching any of the rest of them, because Rocky 1, I mean, not Rocky 1, Creed 1 has a lot to do with, you kind of need to know stuff about Rocky. Creed 2 has a lot to do about Apollo and Rocky and Drago. So I'm like, that's really like a sequel, direct sequel to Rocky 4. And this one kind of felt like it could actually be standalone. Yeah, you might need some knowledge of who Adonis Creed is, but beyond that, you don't really need much. They kind of like made it a standalone story, and I really enjoyed that. I like when a movie doesn't need to make me go watch too many other movies. But yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on the movie. I definitely recommend you go watch it. Like I said, this is spoiler free, so yeah, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you thought about the movie in the comments down below. For the next reviews, watch out for the Last of Us review. That should be out by now. I need to get Scream 5 and 6 should be out for review. And let me see if there's any other reviews. South Park should be out soon, hopefully tomorrow or the day after, and Mandalorian. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and hope to talk to you soon. Bye.